Welcome to Be Less Stupid, the show for people interested in facts and not opinion. The show for people interested in information about how the world really works. The show for anyone rooting for this raccoon to get a donut.
This is incredible.
In the raccoon's defense, he is forced to steal because, although he has money, baller money, thanks to evolution, he has no pocket in which to keep his wallet. Our top story this week was trending on Twitter and features women posting selfies and boasting of being paper thin by holding up a single piece of paper that entirely covered their waist. It's a trend that began in China. Meanwhile, here in the US, Chinese women are dialing up the FU, covering their thin waists with papers that also show they're kicking the asses of white kids in math and science. Finally, here is my Tinder profile pic with an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper in front of my waist. Yup, looks like I could lose a few more LBs. Moving on. While weight obsession is something new for the Chinese, not so much here in the US, where according to the National Institutes of Health, 68% of Americans are either overweight or obese. The other 32%, of course, have been contestants on America's Next Top Model. Thanks to our weight obsession, more than 110 million Americans are trying to diet right now. The rest of us, of course, are lying about trying to diet. It's an industry that generates more than $60 billion a year, and that is just from Mike and Molly. Because they're fat. All that obsession, all those people, all that money, only there's a dirty secret that Oprah, Jenny Craig, and the author of Drop 140 Pounds of Unwanted Fat in Just 24 Hours, Divorce Your Fat Husband, don't want you to know. Diets don't work. I'm going to say it again because I want you to hear it. Only this time I'm going to say it louder with bigger graphics while I'm wearing a Wonder Woman costume. Diets don't work. Look, I know what you're thinking. Why should we believe some internet idiot in a Wonder Woman costume who records a TV show in his garage and only has 14 Emmy nominations, only has an 8-inch penis, and has only been in Sylvester Stallone's kitchen just one time? Look, don't just take my word for it. You're right. Here. Look, see who else is saying it. So look, if you're thinking of going on a diet, there's a few things that you have to know. There are more than 800, I'm not kidding, 800 different diets out there. Seriously, if one of them worked, people would be thinner. Yes, any diet you stick to for a few weeks will result in you losing weight. But you can't live like that. Plus, more than 95% of people who lose weight put it back on, plus more, within 3 years. For just 75 years or so, food has been pretty abundant in most of the world. However, for millions of years, food has been scarce. Even worse, Danish linguists now believe that prior to 1983, the only time our ancestors ever used the word supersize was to describe an infected, pus-filled boil on our neck. So, thanks to evolution and time, our brains have been hardwired to treat every food opportunity like a trip to a Las Vegas hotel buffet. Here's the thing. When we see food, our brains send a signal to pile up our plates like we're gathering supplies to build our own personal Egyptian pyramid with a scoop of material from every ethnic cuisine. Ribs, tacos, curry, teppanyaki, pizza, gumbo, prime rib, and fried fish. And that's just at breakfast. And we keep stuffing our pie holes until the maitre d' saunters over and admonishes that all you can eat is a marketing gimmick and not a command from up on high. For the vast preponderance of human history, people had little to no idea when they would next get food. So, 1 million years ago, when a hunter came home with a fresh kill, the tribe didn't whine, "Where have you been? What took so long? I hope there's a gluten-free option. None of this has touched peanuts, right? You know my throat will close up even if I look at a peanut. And, fuck, how am I going to get those bloodstains out of your loincloth, Phil?" Oh, did you not know? Lots of cavemen were named Phil. Seriously, Google it. Anyway, instead of whining when food arrived, the tribe ate like there was no tomorrow, because that was a real possibility. And that's not all. Regardless of what your conscious ideal weight choice would be, your subconscious brain has very likely made a very different choice based on your activity level and your access to food. That's right, your brain has decided how you're going to look, and it's working against your conscious wishes. For example, your conscious brain may want to be skinny like Rosie Perez, but your subconscious has decided you're going to look more like Roseanne. And there's nothing that you can do about it. Seriously, for the most part, we are all just raccoons who, when we see a donut, we must have it. And get this, there have been numerous studies to conclusively prove that our bodies intentionally burn fewer calories as we reduce our food intake and exercise more in an effort to stave off perceived starvation and retain the fat that it needs for fuel. And look, here's a couple of other things that you should know. Your willpower is finite. There is a reason why, after avoiding chocolate all day, that you go into the bathroom after dinner, reach behind the towels, and open up that hidden panel you secretly built and shame eat all those Kit Kat bars. It's not because you're weak, and it's not because you're not committed to losing weight. It's not because you're a bad person or you're a failure. It's because willpower is finite, and it is no match for 1,000,000 years of evolution. Oh, and there's this. There is no ideal body type, despite what Kim Kardashian's ass will tell you. Humans are different in multiple ways: skin color, hair color, eyesight, intelligence, speed, gender. Some of us have asses that look like a peach. Others have asses that look like an apple, while others have an ass that droops worse than Droopy Dog's face. It's preposterous to think that there is only one body type. Also, being heavier than you would prefer is not necessarily an indication of poor health. I'm going to say that to you again, only slower. Being heavier than you would like is not necessarily an indication of poor health. And get this, for nearly 15 years, doctors have known that obese patients with heart disease, diabetes, kidney disease, and other ailments actually live longer than patients with the same diseases who weigh less. Okay, so diets don't work. Your brain is working against you. Nearly everything that you've been told about the confluence of food, weight, and health is wrong. Plus, you can't live by starving yourself or cutting out fat or sugar or protein, because for every study that you find that says cut one or the other, there's another study that says the exact opposite. So, what can you do if you would like to weigh less than you currently do? I want you to come in very close, because I have the answer. And it's something that you can live with, it's something that you can occasionally cheat on, and it's something that you can easily do for the rest of your life. I swear. And it's only 2 words. Eat less. That's it. Seriously, eat less. If you regularly eat 3,000 calories a day, try getting by with 2,900 for a week or two, then 2,800, then 2,700 for a few weeks. And if you can feel good on 10% less food, you will lose weight, even if you don't run or ever take a spin class. Plus, time is on your side. Drop a pound a week, and in just 6 months, you'll have lost nearly 25 pounds. You could also take a walk. Get a Fitbit and start with a few hundred steps a day, then get up to a few thousand. Seriously, that's it. Eat less, take a walk. If you like the show, please share it with your friends. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time on Be Less Stupid.